What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another War Thunder video. Today we're taking a look at the Douglas AD-4 Skyraider. And much to everyone's surprise, the Skyraider was not added to the American tech tree, but rather the French tech tree when the French were added in the 1.73 patch. Now the difference between the AD-2 and the AD-4 is quite impressive, but most of the changes don't really affect us in War Thunder, because we don't deal with custom radar equipment and all kinds of little upgrades that were made in between the AD-2 and the AD-4. The weapons upgrades are the most important ones that we're interested in. Specifically, they added 2 additional 20mm AM M3 cannons. So you now have 4 cannons. Along with that, you get double the ammunition. So we get double the guns, double the ammunition, and that makes for a very, very strong ground pounder. You do have the option right from the start to go out without any sort of ordnance. You know, no bombs, no rockets, nothing. Just you and your 4 guns. However, I don't think that the Skyraider is good enough of a climber, nor does it hold the energy retention to be a very good heavy fighter. It really is, in my opinion, a ground pounder. So because France doesn't have any tanks in the game yet, you're relegated to Air RB and Air Arcade, and I did all of my grinding in Air RB. About 2 or 3 games in, I decided to put a talisman on my AD-4, because I was enjoying it that much. It's so much easier than it would have been, say, 2 years ago for me. If you would have given me this plane 2 years ago and said, go out there and kill pillboxes and tanks, I would have failed miserably. I would have only been able to kill the artillery and AAA, you know, the light stuff, because I was abysmal with rockets. But today, I'm actually pretty good with them. Not great. And I'm also pretty good with bombs now. Bombs, you no longer have a third-person arcade reticle. You have to bomb without that hand-holding little reticle, so it makes things a lot more challenging. And because of my experience in Tank RB, I'm not only better with the rockets, but bombs as well. If you do go the ground-pounding route with the Skyraider in ARB until tanks come out, I recommend taking the 12 Havars that come along with the vehicle. They aren't pre-selected. You have to actually select them in the ordnance drop-down menu. But when you do, you get some really nice rockets. These are the same rockets that are on the AD-2, as well as the P-47s, and they're really good rockets. They're really accurate. With a little bit of practice, you know, if you didn't play Tank RB, I understand. But with a little bit of practice, you can get pretty good with them, and they can be devastating. As far as modifications go, you know, in your upgrade path, I would recommend the weapons upgrades first. If ground pounding is what you're going to go for, get your bombs unlocked. Yes, the bombs. That should be the very first modification researched. After that, I would go with the 20mm cannon upgrade. It's not so much the shell type that matters. It's rather the second 20mm upgrade that you get, that allows you to get a tighter weapon spread, and it decreases the likelihood of your guns jamming. That's the important one to get. But the very first modification, get the bombs. They're only 2 500-pound bombs, but they're not only give you an additional potential kill against an enemy tank or pillbox, but you can use it as a defense mechanism. See, the Skyraider doesn't come with any sort of back gunner, so you're completely reliant on your speed, your maneuverability, or a little bit of it, and your teammates. What you can do is take that bomb, and with a 1.5 second or perhaps a 2-second delay, you can use those 2 bombs to kill any sort of would-be attacker on your tail. And yes, I have done this. It doesn't work all the time, but when it does, it's beautiful. Now, after you get your initial bombs, I would continue down the weapons path, eventually unlocking the T-10-151 rockets. Now, those are a different rocket than the Havars in that you get twice as many of them. So instead of 12, you get 24 rockets, and as far as their damage potential, they're excellent. But we'll talk about the specifics in just a minute. Instead, I want you to watch this little kill that I get. I've officially run out of rockets in this run, so all I've got left is some 20mm cannons to take care of some light targets. This Focke-Wulf 190 comes in. I think he's going to go head on. No, that's an energy trap. I know that one. It's an old maneuver. So I would dive away because I still have my two 500-pound bombs on. I go for this light pillbox. I'm tracking him. I see him behind me in the radar. So I drop my bombs. They have a 1.5 second delay. So after that 1.5 seconds, they blow up, take out the pillbox and the plane. Outplayed. Now, as far as the rockets go, the T10-151s, they have significantly better penetration values than the HVARs. The HVARs at all angles of attack have a maximum penetration of 36 millimeters, whereas the T10-151s have a maximum penetration value of 450 millimeters at a 90-degree angle of attack. Even at a 30-degree angle of attack, you're still talking 224 millimeters of armor penetration. So whenever French tanks get introduced, I don't know if it's 1.75 or perhaps even later, the AD-4 Skyraider is going to be an absolute beast in tank RB. Keep in mind, this plane is still 5.7 BR, the exact same BR that the 82 is, even though this has twice the guns, twice the ammo capacity, and twice the rocket capacity. And the rockets are even better. Forget the number of rockets, the rockets are technically even better. They do fly at the same velocity, they weigh the same as the HVARs, but they are better as far as their armor penetration values. This plane is all around better, in my opinion, than the 82. Although I will say, just for argument's sake, that the stat card on the 82 shows a better climb rate and turn time. But as we all know, stat cards in War Thunder have a history of being inaccurate, so I wouldn't put too much faith in those numbers. However, I just wanted to throw that out there just for anyone who wanted to do any direct comparisons. I haven't personally done any sort of hard testing between the two to see, in fact, how accurate those numbers are, so I can't say it for absolute certainty. A couple of other things I wanted to talk about before we end this video is the tactics as far as how I approach this. I always go for the light pillboxes because they give a lot of RP. On some other maps, the primary objective is to kill tanks or even destroyers. Just do whatever the objective requires you to, and only go for the targets, or excuse me, prioritize the targets that are flashing on your mini-map. Those are usually the ones that count for the objective. If you do that, you follow the objective, you'll win quite a bit. I had a 7-game win streak at one point. Also worth noting is don't get frustrated if you get attacked right away in the game. You're gonna die often in this with this kind of tactic. There's only so much you can do. The Skyraider is a big, heavy aircraft. Realistically, you can only evade for so long. And if you die, don't worry about it. Don't stress out over it. If you can, try to drag those enemies low. That's going to be a huge benefit to your team. Whenever the Germans give up their altitude for an easy kill on an 84, it always makes me laugh because it's such a silly thing to do. 184 is not going to win the game, honestly. That being said, maybe in the next couple of days or next couple of weeks, we'll see more people flying the 84 after they realize just how good this thing is. And just remember, when you're setting your time delay, make sure you put a pretty good delay if you're using a 2,000-pound bomb, because this thing can really pack a punch, as you're about to see. Killed the pillbox without any problems, and almost killed me too. And that was with a pretty good delay. Anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, and of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Take care, guys.